All right, well, welcome back, everybody. So it is my pleasure to introduce our keynote for this evening, Director Phil Roos for the Michigan Department of Environment, Great Lakes and Energy. Phil?
Hey, everybody. Been a good couple of days here? Good. Julie, thank you for the introduction. I'm Phil Roos. I serve as the Director of Michigan's Department of Environment, Great Lakes and Energy. It's really a big honor for me to be here, and I don't think I've seen so much enthusiasm in a room in a really long time. I want to thank Kara Higgins, Alyssa Seltzer, the whole Next Cycle team, our materials management division led by the wonderful director Liz Brown, but Julie Stavelin, Matt Fletcher, and others are here. Really appreciate you guys inviting me to be part of this. This is a really neat event. Every day in my role, I'm just so proud to work with a group of 1,500 people, big department, who are dedicated to protecting Michigan's environment and the health of all our residents, and importantly, ensuring that Michigan is an enduring leader in environmental protection. We're all about leadership, and I see a lot of leadership here in the room, and I've heard a lot of great things about the last couple of days. I want to say a couple things about EGLE, just for those who don't know what it is. EGLE's the acronym. Nobody could say Department of Environment, Great Lakes and Energy. People think of us often as a regulatory department, and that's true. We do regulation, but we do a lot more than that. We're at the heart of so many of the things that are important to Michiganders, where they live, work, and play. Everything from ensuring clean drinking water to clean lakes to supporting sustainable community and economic development. That's not really well known. That's kind of a big part of what we do. Protecting our lakes, big and small, great and small, and a lot more. And an important part of what we do is we give out a lot of grants. We have half of our budget goes right back out the door again for in a whole variety of ways in communities. Things like infrastructure improvements, brownfield redevelopment, things that really make communities better and help them to thrive. And among those investments and among the areas of focus for us, we support recycling efforts and innovation in creating a circular economy. I think you guys care about that a little bit. Good. And we do that through the Renew Michigan program and Next Cycle Michigan, the latter of which we're recognizing today, and we're all participating in that. And I'm excited. I get to be here to celebrate the 17 teams across 2 tracks, sounds complex, that have created lots of different innovative projects addressing a whole bunch of things: organics recovery, new material recovery technologies, waste minimization techniques, and other big words and long phrases. You guys are doing some amazing work, and I get to be here and see which teams win from each track, and so do you. Just a word about my background. It's somewhat relevant here. I actually come from the private sector. I've spent my entire career in the business world, management consulting, and also worked in companies big and small. I'm actually mostly an entrepreneur. I've played a role, I've either started or played a key role in probably 5 early stage companies. I've taken a couple of them to sale. I've had successes, I've had challenges, and I know we got a lot of entrepreneurs here today because that's what we need. And I think there's a false dichotomy. Here I am, why am I the director of Michigan's environmental agency? I think a big part of it for me is that I just have rejected the idea that environment and economy are 2 different things, and that we can have one but not the other. I just think that's a false dichotomy. And I think what you guys are doing here at this Next Cycle event and this competition will help clear up that misconception. And I think I think this is so key to getting us to a sustainable future, is really using some market approaches and some ingenuity that comes from the business world and bring that into solving environmental challenges. And I think if we work together on that, on something as complicated as circular economy, we're going to figure it out and we're going to get it done. Yeah, let's hear it. Of all the many lessons I've been learning in my 11 months or so on the job, one of the big ones is working together and partnering. And that happens at all levels of government. It happens between business and government, business and environmental. And I think just it's a testament to what you guys are doing here today, partnerships. This whole thing would not happen if we didn't believe in that concept. I'm pretty sure I don't need to do a lot of selling to you guys about the importance of the circular economy. Is that right? Yeah, you have some thoughts about that. But I think it's worth just reinforcing that for the sake of our environment and public health, we really have to do more to eliminate waste and pollution, keeping products and materials in use and regenerating natural resources. We can't carry on as we have been. The old take, make, waste model of the linear economy, it's not only outdated, doesn't work, but it's caused really devastating impacts in our society that I know in our department, in the materials management division, this is a big part of what they're working on, is trying to move us on from that, but also address the damage that's out there. We've got nearly 10,000 tons of plastics that enter the Great Lakes every year. They break down, as we know, into microplastics. They've been found in Great Lakes fish and in municipal water systems, in bottled water, and almost anywhere you can imagine. And we've got 30 million people across the US and Canada that depend on the Great Lakes for drinking water. That's a big problem, and it's a ticking time bomb for us. And then just in Michigan in the fiscal year 2023, nearly 23 million tons of solid waste were disposed in our state's landfills. I talked about leadership here, but this is the wrong kind of leadership. We are #1 in the country in waste per capita in landfills. And we're going to work hard to try to give up that leadership position here sometime soon. The impacts that we've had on landfills, odor complaints, leaching, and the impact on greenhouse gases, which we're trying to address right now, are profound. So we are, as a department, I wanted to share with you something we're working on that I think might be music to the ears of some of you. We're tackling this issue of waste in a variety of ways within EGLE, but one of the ways is around increasing the solid, we have a proposal, and the governor has proposed in her budget, an increase in the solid waste discharge fee. Some call it the tipping fee, but I know my friends and Julie and Liz Brown will reprimand me for saying that, but that's what everybody else calls it. For those who don't know, this is the fee that waste haulers pay when they dump trash into a landfill. So in Michigan, our fee is 36 cents a ton. And for our friends in the Midwest, the 6 or 7 states around the Midwest, it's $5.30, 15 times what our fee is here in Michigan. So what does that do? It acts as a big incentive for people from out of state, from Canada, to dump their trash in our landfills. And now part of why our per capita number is so high is that between 20 and 25% of that trash comes from outside of Michigan, from Canada, as far away as California and Florida. So the proposal that the governor has made is to raise that solid waste surcharge from 36 cents a ton to $5 a ton. Sounds like a lot. Still below the Midwest average, though. And what will that do? It'll simultaneously raise about $80 million that we can use for critical environmental programs, from recycling to cleaning up contaminated sites, brownfield redevelopment, a whole range of waste management areas. It's a chance to really change the game in how we manage waste and how we deal with its impacts. And that's going to go directly into the Renew Michigan program that I talked about earlier. Since 2019, Renew Michigan has provided funds for environmental cleanup and brownfield redevelopment. So that's one place that money is going to go. And also recycling efforts. That's really important here, that we change the game and the incentives for people to just dump stuff in the trash, that we create an even more vibrant recycling market. We make it economically attractive for people to recycle or to reclaim things that they might otherwise put in the trash. So among the uses of the Renew Michigan Fund, there's been over $155 million of investment in projects at 412 contaminated and brownfield redevelopment sites. We're trying to take that to not 400, but to thousands. Really make a scale impact on that. There's also been $44 million in recycling grants to local communities for recycling infrastructure, improvements to the quality of recycling, market development, and agricultural recycling. And I was given an example here. In 2021, NTEC received a $1.3 million grant from EGLE to install 100 lane miles of road surfaces made with repurposed scrap tires. That's the kind of ingenuity and entrepreneurship that's really going to make a difference as we try to address this issue. And by the way, make money and create new jobs and all of that as part of it. So those efforts have been going on for the last several years, but in 2021, in the middle of the pandemic, of course, EGLE launched Next Cycle Michigan, which is a big reason why we're here today. And the whole idea was to connect entrepreneurs, companies, organizations, and communities to the technical support, the financial resources, and the capacity building to support opportunities in the circular economy, recycling, recovery, reuse initiatives. I know there are many such initiatives that have come out of this and are already having big success. Next Tiles from Detroit that uses textile waste from Detroit's automotive and apparel manufacturing industries to manufacture eco-friendly textile products. Wormies, love the name, a Grand Rapids-based composting business that turns food and yard waste into fertilizer for farm and garden use. And I think if you go back and read the stories of those companies, it comes right back to Next Cycle here, where they were able to get the guidance, the help in how to put together their plans, make the pitch, all the things that you all, several of you in the room here did over the last couple days. And today, I guess the pitches were, and we're going to see the fruits of that here, but the big fruits will be in the coming months and years. We're expecting big things from a number of the things that you guys have come up with. This is all really vital, these kinds of partnerships between communities and companies and people, investors, and the folks who are actually coming up with these ideas. They're back to that theme of partnership. They're really critical to Michigan's success as we try to improve our economy and environment at the same time and really deal with this waste issue. We're hugely proud at EGLE to play a key role in this Next Cycle initiative, leveraging public and private investment in Michigan's recycling system and put some of these materials that were otherwise headed for landfill to good use. We're proving once again that environmental protection and economic growth go together, actually. One helps the other. Our investments in recycling bring economic growth to Michigan in a variety of ways. We're investing in keeping and building good paying jobs across the recycling supply chain. We're investing in realizing the value of materials instead of throwing them away. We're investing in a cleaner environment, and we're making progress toward our climate goals that are laid out in the My Healthy Climate Plan. That's our state climate action plan. I see Matt Nowd here, and I remember a moment maybe around 2021 when you and J.D. Lindeberg came to see me and said, hey, you're on the Climate Council. Where's recycling in this? This is kind of important. And I was going to take full credit for this, but I'm going to give you guys credit because that was an important moment because I'm not sure everybody knew where did it fit in and how could we make this work. And because you shamed me enough, I and some other folks really took it upon ourselves to say, this needs to be in there. And now we have food waste and recycling, big goals in the climate plan, and we're making a lot of progress against those. So thank you, Matt. So finally, in the final climate plan, it recognized the importance of dealing with those two issues and setting really bold goals. And by the way, those goals are in Liz Brown in the Material Management Division's goals to achieve those. So we're not all the way there. We're at 21% in 2023 on recycling, but that's up from 14% in 2019. And a big reason why is the kind of innovation that's going on here that has happened the last couple of days here. That's going to be key. We got a lot of work at the government level, at the recycling consulting and provider companies, all the different folks in the ecosystem here. But getting to the ideas and linking them to capital and to people who can help you make them happen is really key. I wanted to just cover one other area if you're not asleep yet. And that is, I want to just talk about how this fits into what we're doing at EGLE more broadly. I've been there about 11 months, and I saw that there's this incredibly dedicated group of people, people doing amazing work. It's pretty clear to me Michigan is already a leader in a lot of different areas in the environmental work we do. And I think we can take the work that is going on here as one example of that. But what we didn't have was we didn't have a kind of a time-bound shared vision for impact that we could have within a short period of time, neatly timed to when I'm likely to be kicked out of office here at the end of Governor Whitmer's term. So we have a 3-year vision here, we call it Vision 2027, which is to clearly establish Michigan as an enduring national leader in environmental protection, including mitigate the impacts of climate. That may sound like, of course, yeah, we're going to lead, whatever. But there's a couple of key words in there. There's leader, like we're going to compare ourselves to our peers around the country, and we are going to come out in that top tier in all the areas that really count. But the word enduring is in there as well, because it's not enough to do a few cool initiatives here in the next couple of years. It's got to last for the next administration that comes in and the one after that. We got to do stuff that's got staying power. And so we're going to embed the work in our program areas. We're going to bring it out to the rest of the state. And this is going to be just a unified effort to really do big things. So there's a bunch of things the usual things you might imagine that would be on that list. Ensuring every Michigander has safe air to breathe. Provide clean drinking water, protect our Great Lakes and our rivers, streams, wetlands, and our 6th Great Lake groundwater. Reduce waste generation, increasing state recycling efforts. We've already talked about that. We talked about cleaning up contaminated sites, doing a game-changing level of increase in that work. Implement the My Healthy Climate Plan and exceed the goals and the pace of that plan. And of course, serve as a catalyst for environmental justice, so that those communities who've been left behind, who have borne a lot of the burden from our industrial past, that we take care of them, we make them part of this journey. So there's a kind of a little nuance here that's a little different in how we're doing this. This sounds also simple. When you're in a regulatory agency, you measure a lot of things. How many inspections do we do? That kind of thing. What do we do about compliance, kind of process metrics. But what we're doing now is we're shifting the focus on how we measure success to actual impact on the lives of 10 million Michiganders. And so what we've asked all of the different program areas, including the folks in Materials Management Division, this already happened. We've asked everybody to come up with stretch impact goals for the next 3 years, things that make us just a little bit nervous, that we might not be able to achieve them, but are really exciting and kind of give you goosebumps, that we want to do our best to try, and we want to make it happen. And then we're calling on improvement in 75% of those every year. So it's a big goal, but then importantly, we're going to benchmark ourselves against other states around the country. This is something I did not realize, but in the work that we've done on this benchmarking, we found that actually most environmental agencies don't benchmark themselves against anybody. So they just, keep trying to solve problems. They're mission driven. But it's going to be really exciting to be able to say, we're number one in this. We got work to do on this, and to learn from other states. And I've been talking to a lot of my state counterparts who have the same position, and they are telling me, we want to do that next. So that's my great hope, is that Michigan can help lead the charge to raising the bar across everything we do. I'm just really excited about the challenges in front of us, the ambitions of that plan, and all the amazing work that is happening here at Next Cycle, and all the work that you guys are doing around circular economy. I hope you'll continue to support growing businesses and projects like are being discussed here. Let's just keep working together and make some big things happen. Thank you so much for letting me be here.